Welcome back to the Ocarina of Time Chronicles. Today's discussion, we are continuing the lore of Link's childhood and the securing of another spiritual stone, as well as some side events along the way to the retrieving of the Goron's Ruby, also known as the Spiritual Stone of Fire. So we continue where we left off when Link leaves the sanctuary of the Kokiri Forest and follows the beaten path to Hyrule Castle. This is the Ocarina of Time Chronicles, Child Link, Part 2. Emerging from the woods, Link meets an owl by the name of Kaepora Gaebora, who tells Link if he continues the path he's on through Hyrule Field, he will eventually come to Hyrule Castle, as well as mentioning to look at his map in case he gets lost. After parting goodbye, Kaepora flies off, seemingly gonna keep an eye on Link through his adventure. With the words from the owl in his head, he continues on his trek when he finally reaches the castle. But before he is able to go to the castle, Link comes into a bustling castle town where he meets a red-headed girl who spots Link being different by the clothes he wears. She deduces he's not from around here being Castle Town. But Link lets her know he is actually from a forest, where he earns the nickname Fairy Boy from the forest. And she introduces herself as Milan and informs him that her dad owns Lon Lon Ranch and that he had gone to the castle but had been gone for some time. As their conversation wraps up, Link continues his way through the town to eventually come to the pathway of the castle. When in a tree, he spots Kaepora again. He informs Link that the princess is inside the castle but warns him to be careful not to be caught by the guards. Again, after the advice, Kaepora takes flight, leaving Link once again. Noticing ivy on the cliff face, Link climbs it. As he does, he sees there is a way past the guarded gate. Link continues making his way through the castle grounds, avoiding the guards and climbing another wall that has stone protrusions, getting around another gate that is guarded. After a short swim, he comes upon a man who is passed out asleep. Seeing no other way to proceed, Link makes his way back towards Castle Town. Before Link reaches the town, he comes across Milan again, who is waiting by the ivy wall, where Milan asks the fairy boy if he would help find her dad. She thinks he must have fallen asleep somewhere around the castle, remarking it's such a thing for an adult to do. In return for looking for Milan's dad, she gives the fairy boy an egg, which she has been incubating very carefully. To keep his word to Milan, he returns to the man he found asleep by the castle and the milk crates. Link is still unable to do anything, but come the next morning, the egg hatches into a cuckoo. It's with the cuckoo's help that he is able to wake Milan's father, who juts awake from his sleep. He introduces himself as Talon, the owner of Lon Lon Ranch. How he planned to sit and rest for a minute but ended up sleeping. Link informs Talon his daughter was looking for him. Hearing this, Talon races back to Milan, hoping not to get chewed out too badly. With Talon out of the way, now Link is able to stack the milk crates to be able to reach the waterway from the castle. Entering through a small hole, he sneaks into the castle courtyard. Entering the courtyard, Link notices the guards patrolling, avoiding them around every bush, fountain, and around every corner. He finally comes to a clearing where a girl is standing looking through a window. Surprising her, she turns around, shocked at first, but after noticing Navi, she starts putting things together. and asks Link if he has the spiritual stone of the forest. As he confirms her suspicions, she is happy, or more relieved, as her dream had been confirmed. A dream in which there were dark storm clouds billowing over the land, when suddenly a ray of light shot out of the forest, parted the clouds, and lit up the ground. The figure then took form to someone holding a green and shiny stone, accompanied by a fairy. The girl knows this to be a prophecy and that someone would come to her from the forest, and she believes Link to be the one. Realizing she got carried away, the mysterious girl finally introduces herself as Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. Then she asks for Link's name, which he provides. Reflecting on this, she says it sounds familiar. After learning Link's name, she begins to reveal a secret of the sacred realm that had been passed down by the royal family, and asks if he will keep it a secret from everyone. After agreeing, she continues. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of the one who holds the Triforce in their hands. If someone with a righteous heart makes a wish, it will lead Hyrule to a golden age of prosperity. If someone with an evil mind has his wish granted, the world will be corrupted by evil. That is what has been told, so the ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the Triforce from evil ones. With this revelation, it's revealed that the Sacred Realm's entrance is through the Temple of Time, but is sealed with a stone wall called the Door of Time. And in order to open it, it is said you need the 3 spiritual stones, and another thing you need is a treasure guarded by the royal family, the Ocarina of Time. After confirming that Link understood their discussion, she reveals that she had been spying on someone and asks Link to take a look. For the dark clouds in her dream she believes symbolize the man ahead, the man with evil in his eyes. His name is Ganondorf, the Gerudo King. Even though he swears allegiance, Zelda doesn't believe it. Ganondorf catches Link's eyes, and Zelda relaxes Link that he has no idea of what they're planning yet. However, when she tried to tell her story to the king, he didn't believe it was a prophecy. After one last plea of help, Link agrees to help Zelda save Hyrule and prevent Ganondorf from reaching the Sacred Realm. With Zelda guarding the Ocarina, Link heads out to collect the other sacred stones. Before leaving, he gets a letter from Zelda that is sure to help him. Before he is able to leave, however, he runs into Impa, the one responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Acknowledging her role in Princess's dream, she is to teach the melody to Link called Zelda's Lullaby, a closely guarded song by the royal family. Not wanting Link to get caught, Impa gets Link away from Hyrule Castle as she points to his next destination, Death Mountain, home to the Gorons, and the spiritual Stone of Fire. Before leaving, Impa relays to Link the song he was taught has mysterious power, and that only royal family members are allowed to learn it, for it proves the connection to them. After the conversation with Impa, Link heads back to Kokiri Woods and the Lost Woods to let his friend know about all that's been brought up so far. Heading through the Lost Woods, Link runs into Kaepora Gaebora, who gives more advice to use his ears, to listen for the music will lead the way before parting. After navigating through the Lost Woods, Link eventually makes it to the Sacred Forest Meadow. Making his way through the maze-like walls, he is finally reunited with his friend Soraya. Noticing Link, she says she had been waiting for him and introduces him to the sacred forest meadow, as it is her secret place, and has a feeling it will be important to both of them someday, and that if you play the ocarina in the meadow, you can talk with the spirits of the forest. Soraya asks if Link wants to learn the song of the forest, known as Soraya's Song. Once Link learns Soraya's song, he makes his way back to Kakariko Village, but he makes a stop at Lon Lon Ranch along the way. After arriving at Lon Lon Ranch, Link visits Talon as he is napping away with his cuckoos and has 3 special cuckoos around him. After thanking you for waking him up back in the castle, he relays he finally got Milan back in a good mood and offers for you to play a game in which Link collects the 3 special cuckoos and returns them to Talon. After completing the challenge, he asks how would you like to marry his daughter. Could this be a foresight to the descendant of the hero of time in Twilight Princess? Of course, if you say yes, he laughs and tells you he was only kidding, but offers you some Lon Lon milk as a runner-up prize. Link then leaves his house and goes to visit Milan, who is by her new horse Epona. However, Epona is shy, but after continuing to converse with Milan, Link pulls out his ocarina and Milan offers for you to learn the song that her mother taught her, one that soothes Epona's skitchiness and eases her to trust you better. Now, having spent time at the ranch, Link makes his way to Kakariko Village. Exploring the village, he finds a graveyard where he finds a mark of the royal family. Remembering what Impa said, he plays Zelda's lullaby, and a flash of lightning shatters the tombstone. Upon entering the tomb, Redeads walk around as if to guard something, carefully making his way past the enemies that can strike fear with a single scream. He comes across an engravement, a poem dedicated to the memory of the departed members of the royal family. The rising sun will eventually set, a newborn's life will fade. From sun to moon, moon to sun, give peaceful rest to the living dead. Engraved under the poem is the secret melody known as the Sun Song. After learning and arming himself with a new song, he exits the grave. The song seems to stun the creatures where they stand, and Link is able to leave the grave without any trouble. As Link starts the climb, he sees a cave blocked off by a giant rock, but continues to climb, noticing strange inhabitants of the mountain. He presses forward, and in no time at all, he reaches Goron's city, and in the middle of it all, he sees a giant Goron pot and a door blocked off, where he gets the feeling to play Zelda's lullaby to gain an audience with the head Goron. The Goron, upset at seeing Link instead of the royal family, refuses to converse with Link until he plays Soraya's song. And before he knows it, the Chief Goron is dancing uncontrollably to the hot beat that Link had laid down before him. After dancing, his mood is lifted and he opens up to Link more, allowing Link to ask about the spiritual stone of fire. Link is informed that the Goron's ruby is the race's hidden treasure, but not wanting to give up so willingly, he makes Link a deal. If he goes and clears the monsters from Dodongo's cavern and proves he's a real man, and with the monsters gone, the Gorons will be happy once again, and Darunia would be happy to part with the Goron's ruby. As a show of good faith, he gives Link the Goron's bracelet that will allow him to pick up the stuck bomb flowers with ease. And with that, Link heads back to the Overlook to the cave that had been blocked by the giant rock. Seeing a bomb flower, he puts 2 and 2 together. Launching the bomb toward the rock, it shatters the boulder, blocking the way and allows him access into the cave. Jumping down with success, Link enters the cavern, unsure of what to expect. As Link enters the Dodongo's cavern, he notices the skull of a fallen Dodongo on the wall. Eyes blackened out and years of decay have left nothing more than a skull. He knows this is going to be more treacherous than the Deku Tree's task that lay before him, but nevertheless he progresses on. Baby Dodongo's coming from the ground trying to prevent Link in his path, but as always, our hero pushes through and continues on, not letting anything stop him or slow him down. Continuing on his quest, Link cuts down any enemy that gets in his way, from the Dodongos to the baby Dodongos to Lizalfos. He takes out everything in his way to make sure he clears out the cavern for the Gorons. Proceeding through, he eventually finds bombs, which makes his journey far easier since now he doesn't have to rely on the wildflowers. With bombs in hand, he now knows to light up the eyes of the dead Dodongo skull by placing a bomb in each one. When the bombs go off, the eyes glow an eerie red, and the jaw opens to reveal a new path for our hero, the path to the Dodongo King. The King Dodongo. Even though he was more of a terrifying presence than Queen Gama, Link stood his ground and through courage, mastered throwing bombs as he inhaled to throw fire, and cut the king down as he got stunned from the bomb blast. After a few slashes, the king was no more as he rolled into the lava and the fire took its rightful place and destroyed the king. Returning to the cave entrance, he is greeted by Darunia, congratulating Link and thanking him for returning their food source to them. Continuing on, Darunia thinks the trouble must have been caused by the Gerudo thief Ganondorf, for he said, "Give me the spiritual stone, only then will I open the cave for you." However, Link, on the other hand, risked his life and proved himself to the Gorons, and because of that, earned Darunia's favor enough to become sworn brothers and to receive the spiritual stone of fire. Before parting ways with the newly sworn brother, Darunia suggests Link goes to visit the great fairy who lives at the top of the Death Mountain. Taking Darunia's suggestion, Link begins his climb of Death Mountain. Once at the fountain, Link summons the fairy through the alert of the royal family and is granted magic power from her. With this new power added to his and the spiritual stone of fire, he knows there is one stone left. But, of course, that will have to wait for the next Hyrule Chronicles. And remember, whenever there is a meeting, a parting is sure to follow. However, that parting need not last forever. Whether that parting be forever or a short time, that is up to you, as we plan to keep our parting short. We'll see you in the next one.